Nighttiger comics.
Nighttiger comics! Nighttiger comics! What? Nighttiger comics?
Yeah.
Alright guys, what's going on? Another haul, third of the year. If you're saying, wow, Nighttiger never changes his clothes, that's because I'm shooting all my videos in a row tonight before I get on the road. And then on the road, I can put them all together, and then when I'm ready to put them out, click, 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 and it's up on YouTube, it's up on Instagram. Nighttiger Comics, one word on Instagram. If you like this channel and you're not subbed, please sub. If you could hit the like, I'd appreciate it. It helps out. So here we go. So I went to the Comic Fest. Now my local LCS owner, Austin, he's a young guy. To me, I'm 50. He's like 27, I think. Very cool dude. And he kind of fell into owning this store. And he is just killing it. Great store, clean. Always has tons of keys. And now he's taken over running the Comic Fest in town, and he put together a huge shebang at the mall. I don't have pictures. You know, I forgot to take pictures. Dang it, I should have. He had it decked out. He had artists there, Marvel artists, and I don't know, there might have been some writers. He had another section off to the side where it was toys and crafts, and then he had tons of vendors. Now, I have to admit, when it was smaller, you could get a lot better deals on big keys, especially because the guy that was running it before was the one he was selling a lot of Marvel keys. He opted out. He handed the mantle over to Austin. You can find some deals, but stuff is mostly priced right around retail, and sometimes just a little bit higher. So, but you know, it's a great experience. I met a lot of new people. Shook a lot of hands, talked comics and hunting, and had a great time. And the wife was there supporting me, so thanks to her. Let me show one of these books. Now, I don't know, I think I may have overpaid $5 for this. Tough book to find in the wild. I paid $15. I did get a lot of the other ones in the run for like $10. The Adam Hughes Catwoman's. So I picked this one up, and it was between number 72 from December 2007 and number 58. So I looked him up on Key Collector. Thanks, Nick. And this one was showing that it was going for a little more. They both were 15, so I took this one. I've been looking for these Antenna issues. You guys have been showing the heck out of these and making my mouth drool, so finally got me a copy. So this is a book I've been after with the spec now that Hasbro has bought an entertainment company. They are getting into movies and television with their properties. They've already announced the Micronauts, and it's believed that Rom will be the next one in line for a project. So I picked up number 1 for $15 from Ron. Ron, if you check this out like I asked you to, thanks, buddy. 1979, December, first appearance, Origin of Rom. First appearance of Prime Director, first appearance of the team of Dire Race, first Space Knights, and it's a little bit of a dirty issue, but it was $15. I think that was fair. I think I can clean it though, I'm pretty sure, but you know that cleaning takes time. So some of these are dollar books. This was a dollar book. I have another copy that I found for $1 like 2-3 years ago after Master X showed his copy. These are very scarce and hard to find. Timothy Truman Scout. It's just a great story and series. It's a cult favorite among hardcore collectors. And actually there is an editorial in the cover of issue 5, I believe. And I forget who, Timothy talked about the worst flooding ever in California happened in 1986. Destroyed all the back issue printing plates for Eclipse Comics. So they cannot reprint anything from Eclipse Comics prior to 86, I think it was September. So that makes these very scarce. If you can find any Scout Comics before that date, pick them up, man. They're very hard. They can never be reprinted again. From the actual plates anyway. And this used to be a $50 book about 5 years ago. But of course, it's gotten lost among the shuffle of the new era of comic book collecting. He had the full series. I just picked up number 1, Jack of Hearts from 1984. Second solo series featuring Jack of Hearts. I do know a YouTube collector who loves the Jack of Hearts. I think I'm going to send these to him. So he had this one for $1, and these are all from Ron. This actually goes for a little bit of money. It's the first solo story featuring Jack of Hearts from October 78. Marvel Premiere number 44. Very cool. And this is George Freeman art. I don't know much about him, but I remember reading this. He is an amazing artist. He reminds me of Michael Golden. Jack of Hearts is just so cool, man. Check out his so colorful costume, too. I'm not sure if his first appearance is in Iron Man, I believe. Then he shows up in Marvel 2-in-1, and then in Marvel Premiere. This is funny because it was another collector there, and like I said, some of the collectors had their books overpriced. This collector, all his books were really high grade, and he had tons of stuff. Bronze, silver. The silver was, like mid, but all his Bronze Age stuff was really high grade stuff. And he had this book there for $5. Well, I got it for $1. I knew right away what this was. First appearance of Jessica Cruz as the Green Lantern. Death of Marina, who is Darkseid's daughter. First appearance of Jason, Wonder Woman's brother. And then Batman is revealed by the Morbius chair that there were 3 different Jokers that he faced throughout his years. And this is the last issue of this Justice League run also. July 2016. So yeah, I didn't have this one. I have all the other keys in this series. And that was $1. Then I picked this up for $1. You know what that is, don't you? Look at it. It's not even listed in Nick's Key Collector app. This is Howard the Duck number 23, April 1978. It's a homage to Star Wars. It's supposed to be Howard's supposed to be Luke Skywalker, and then that girl's supposed to be Leia. Then you got a Darth Vader looking dude back there. And then the man thing is like the Wookiee. And then look, you got supposedly R2-D2 and C-3PO. So pretty cool. I didn't have this one. I had seen it before. I knew it existed. And I'm glad I remembered watching somebody's video. This book, not a big deal, but I like to collect all these copper issues of Batman or Detective. This is the era when I was buying my own comics with my own money. And I did not have this issue. It has a bit of a bend in it, if you can see, but I can throw that in there. It's no color break. I'll throw it in the press. And I think this era is really well written, really well drawn. If you can find these for $3 or less in high grade, these are nice to have in your collection. Like I said, well written, really good art. Don Newton does the art. Gene Colan does art in this era. Some top artists. Got these for $1 too, man. High grade copy of this. This is Fantastic Four 204, March 1979. First appearance of Adora, Prime Commandant of the Nova Corps. And then first appearance of Tanak Vault, who became commander of Nova Prime after Richard Rider, who's Nova, returned to Earth. Look at that white copy, another bone white copy. Yeah, this was in there too, and I probably have this, but this is like a 9/8 copy. Fantastic Four 209. You guys know what that is? I knew right away what this is. First appearance of Herbie the Robot, right there. He plays the Human Torch in the cartoon, the television cartoon of the late 70s. And that's his first appearance in comic books. And this is also the very first John Byrne artwork on the FF title. So to get this in a high grade for $1, big grail for me. Last but not least, this is an upgrade. I already had it, but I couldn't pass it up for the price. This is like a very fine copy. First appearance of the Champions. If you have not read this series, this Bronze Age Marvel, you're missing out. This is really good. Any team that has Black Widow on it, baby. Oh yeah. So you got Angel, you got Black Widow, you got Ghost Rider, Metarog. You know Metarog loves this series. It's got his favorite character on it. Hercules, and Iceman. What do you think? Lawrence, what do you think? Is this one of your favorite series? What do you think of the Champions? Steve, I Love Disney. What do you think? Charlton66, all you sweet, cool collectors out there. What do you think of this series? Have you read it? Do you collect it? I love it. I think that's really cool. And I did my sample video for my contest, and it's still up. Took the Breakfast Club and cast them as the champions. If you haven't seen that, go watch it. It's funny as heck. But anyways, that's my haul from Comic Fest February. And the next one now we're having is Brick City Comic Fest. So if you live in Florida, we got one in March coming. And that's going to be at the Pavilion. And that was pretty good. They started their first one last year in September. And then we have this Comic Fest again coming up, probably be around June, and they're going to alternate. So we're going to have like 3 to 4, so altogether 8 different Comic Fests going on in this city through the year. And then in June, they have the Comic Con, the Ocala Comic Con at the Hilton, which is huge. I would say I wouldn't go to that. They charge you $25 to get in, $5 parking. And in Florida, it's like 100 degrees or so in the narrow halls. The halls are really hot because they can't air condition them. But they do have a lot of artists that come. So if you're into that, check it out. But these Comic Fest in Brook City, it's free entry. So you don't have to pay for parking. You don't have to pay for entry fee. You just go in, you spend your money, and just go to the hunt. So, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Hit that like. Subscribe if you want to. Like I said, on Instagram, it's all one word, Nighttiger Comics. I'll be putting videos up on there too. And this is, I'm just saying, it's so hard to end these things. You just never know what to say. Happy hunting. God bless. Good luck to you out there. I hope you find what you're looking for. Enjoy your collection. And be careful. Don't overspend, because you know you're going to do it anyway. Nighttiger. Take care, buddy. Everybody.